I just can't stop thinking about this Jazzmaster. So let's do some more shapes. So shapes kind of allow you to not know everything there is to know about theory. You can forget theory and just use the shape that works. Let's do a couple of shapes. This is a power chord, like that's like a 5 and a 7. You probably are hip to the power chord, but those are powerful. Hey, it's another song. You can just move them around. Okay, so let's assume people are pretty familiar with the power chord, so just reinforcing that. Let's alter it a little bit. That's a root and a fifth. Remember, a chord is made of a root, third, and a fifth. So instead of a root and a fifth, let's do a root and a third. That would look like this. So that's less, the power chord has that kind of drony, punchy, kind of reminds me of like a hammer just hitting something. It has a lot of punch and power. Well, the root and the third, that's an A plus a C sharp. The third note in the scale, 1, 2, 3, that's a third. Is a little less kind of, less brash, a little more harmonic and melodic or whatever. A little more happy and light. So that's a 5 and a 4 for tablature. It's kind of like has that kind of nice quality, sing-song quality. While the root in the fifth is kind of like caveman. Your root and fifth, root and third. Hey, there's something between those. The root and the fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A root and a fourth. That shape I don't use that much to like, hey, I'm rocking. It sounds kind of weird. But I use it more like traveling between this one and that one. I might go. That's a root and a third, a root and a fourth, and the root and the fifth. And once you learn this, you don't have to think about it too much. You just know it's going to sound cool. Let's see. Are there any others? Probably. Let's do a root third and a dominant 7. I love that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it's dominant 7, so we flat that 7. Again, 1, 2, it's a major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Has that kind of like Muskrat Love or the Carpenters or some sort of a dreadful ballad. I remember when I turned on the radio, driving around my 72 Volkswagen, it's like AM, just hoping for, please let there be a song with some guitar in it. All you get is the Captain and Tennille Air Supply. It's like major 7s, like, oh, just please. it's a major 7th. We flat the 7. Now it's party time. That's more, a lot cooler. So root, 3rd, and flatted 7. What's called a dominant 7th or an A7. Set it and forget it. And you could really add those other ones we did. Like my good friend Matt says, it's all just finger paint. We're just smooshing colors around. You don't have to know the scale all the time. You can kind of forget the scale and just make some rock and roll. But having some shapes. Is pretty cool. I mean, there's more shapes, but do you really need any more? We haven't done anything minor here. Let's save that for another time. These are major, pretty much in the major, on the major side of the fence. So you can kind of divide music concepts down the middle. Over there you got your minors. Over there you got your majors. They're kind of, you want to be able to control that. If you're mixing them and you don't understand that, you know, your finger painting is just going to get just like kind of a bloody brown mess. It's going to be pretty gross, man. So to get more definition between your colors that you're smooshing around, try to control the difference between major and minor. And this is strictly major. Just one thing to remember. When you go minor, you're going to flat the 3rd. That's your main gear of that. You know, like, hey, we're going to go major. We're going to shift down to minor. Flat the 3rd. And usually, you have to do that cautiously. So let's not, we'll save minor for later. But just try to control that. It's like, you know, you're a painter that has control of the paint a little bit. And once you know how to use those, you know, you can really, you know, you're gonna be a lot more effective when you can control major and minor. Okay, so you get the idea. Oh please, why did I have to sell this? Squire is so good. I love it. All right, so work on those little shapes, move them around, and you can jump these one string towards the floor also. So I just kind of kept it on the fat string for the root, but you can jump one string over with that. Maybe we'll do that another time. But for now, that's plenty, right?